there guys, this is Malorian, and this will be kind of like the pre-video for the steamroller I'm going to tomorrow. Usually before this I've been kind of like clumping the videos together, and I think I'm going to break this one up. So I want to do a video to kind of talk about my lists, why I put them together, and really the ideas behind them, especially for this one here because I made some changes and I have no idea how this is going to go. So for a while now, I've really known that going to this event, I want to be running Kane 2, my Dude Swarm, and Haley 3. Now, Kane 2, this is my bog standard one that's been working very well for me. It's been Kane 2 with this Old Rowdy, the Squire. Then in the front rank, I got double Press Gangers, I got double Rangers, then Alexia and Risen, and then double Gun Mages, and then I still have room for Reinhold and typically 2 solos. Rupert, and then sometimes I go Gorman, sometimes Hawk, sometimes Terran, but this was going to be a little bit different because my Haley 3 list likes Rupert a lot. You know, it's all about that defense skew and really wants to have that there. So the Haley 3 list I've been working on has been Haley 3 with a Squire, with a Dynamo. There's also the Gun Mage with UA. There is the Murder Ponies max unit, the Storm Lances max unit, and then there's also a Rupert in there, like we said. And really, the points go really fast. And so the Precursor Knights with UA, and that's it. That's the list. So with that in mind, I started looking at my Kane 2 list and trying to figure out what I want to do with those last few points. And I started thinking, like, well, I could put in Ian Holtz, I could put in Black 13th. I really like the idea of the Black 13th because I get a little bit shooty more in there if I'm up against Cricks. And then I thought maybe I could even fit in a little bit more because I still wanted a little bit of a support solo. So what if I drop down Old Rowdy to become a Ironclad, and then I could get Terran, and I could also get the Black 13th. Lots more shots and a lot of Black Penny, so that I can really, the whole list is all about jamming. So if somebody tries to really, if there's a line and I'm kind of stuck, well, they just kind of shoot the guys, engage the Press Gangers, and the Press Gangers get even deeper. Or, you know, of course, the Black 13th, they have their brutal shots. Terran has their little acid shots. So that's pretty solid. But I didn't really like this whole idea of the Ironclad. He really is my heavy hitting, but he doesn't really do that great of a job of it because of how I don't like to share focus. And at the same time, I really want a shield guard in there because if Alexia ever dies or if Kane 2 takes a random hit from a Ravagore, the game can be very over very quick. So after some thought, I decided to clear that. I took back out the Black 13th, took out Terran, freed up myself some points, and then I decided, you know what, Ironclad, you're out of here. And instead, I'm going to be putting in the Sentinel. So the Sentinel, hey, great. I'm playing a point down, but at least I have a shield guard, so that's pretty awesome. And then I have 8 points. And with those 8 points, I can get Forge Guard. Now, not only am I making my Dude Swarm even swarmier, but this is now some heavy hitting that has reach that can go over my swarm, and it doesn't take any focus. I'm really just getting in there and swarming, and they're following up behind. And the fact that they're slower doesn't really matter because there's so much jam going on. And really, too, with their crit smite stuff, hey, they might clear out a zone as well. So I really like that idea. So I thought my lists were locked in, but then I started thinking that my Haley 3 list really doesn't do anything for me. It's been a very strong list so far. I've been really liking it, but I started thinking, when would I drop it? You know, I love my Kane 2 list. It's going to go against pretty much everything. When am I going to use it? It's really like, well, okay, if somebody has something where it's a really big heavy anti-infantry, okay, that's something I don't want to go with. So maybe I don't want to be going with some of these other things, like, you know, it's just not going to really work out. I just didn't really like the idea of the Haley 3. So I decided to really vastly change it. And one of the things I came up with is, why don't I try running it with Jax? Because one of the best things about Haley 3 is that she has a lot of focus. And so she can really run a lot of Jax. So I played a lot of different lists where she had a whole bunch of different types of Jax. And in the end, it came down to this: Stormwalls are just better. So, okay, Haley 3, double Stormwall. that takes up a lot of my points right away. Now, the biggest thing you need to do with these double Stormwall lists is you need to keep models off of you. So what I decided to take there is I decided to take my Blazers. Now, I kind of thought between some different units, but I went for the Blazers for this reason. With their large bases, they can be blocking a lot of area. They'll also be defense 18 as long as I have Temporal Flux up and Rupert. So yeah, Rupert is still in that list. And as well, they can't be trampled over. And another part of this as well, why I like them over, say, Precursors or something else, is a whole idea where the list can all of a sudden change very quickly to range assassination. Of course, they have Force Hammer, and so if I go up there and I do a Force Hammer and I knock down the caster or knock something into the caster, knock him down, well, all of a sudden I got the Stormwalls all boosting their shots to kill him, and then I can also have the Murder Ponies, the Blazers that shoot as well. So I really like that idea. Now, again, two 19-point Colossals and a 10-point unit, plus already a 2-point solo, and there's no Squire here. That's taking up a lot of points, and I only have 2 left. And I was wondering if I should put in the Squire, but I don't feel I really need it. So what I decided to go with is actually 2 little Storm Callers. I actually have 1 point as well that I put into a Tinker, but I thought, you know what, let's take 2 Storm Callers. Then what they'll do for me is that between the pods, they're just going to triangulate like crazy and help kill off a lot of the infantry. In fact, this should be really interesting where normally double Stormwall means you have these covering fire templates all over the place. Well, the Blazers are now, instead of having 4 circles, I'll have 5 circles. And so that's probably going to be blocking all I need. And I think for the most part, those guns will just be shooting as well. So should be really good. Very nice way to just grind things down. They can really get into my Tempests. But man, if I really need to, I can just pop feet and pretty much bring all of them back as long as there's one alive. So it should be a very interesting attrition list if I see something that can deal with my infantry. And so there you go. I have a list that I've never played before with this double Stormwall Haley 3. So we'll see if this whole idea really works. And then we also have the Kane 2, which I do feel a little bit more safer with because the general list I've played. But yeah, it's just more dudes, and hopefully I don't clock myself out. So either way, the Steamroller is tomorrow. I'm not really sure. Last I heard, it'll be 22 people, but we'll have to see what shows up. If nothing else, there'll be some very, very competitive people there. And as always, my goal is to win more than I lose. Really, the lofty goal is I want to be in the top 3. I want to win a trophy, but we'll see how it goes. So there we go. There's my explanation to my armies. I'm not going to do that now for the videos coming up. Each game I'm just going to do as its own report, and then I'll probably do a video after talking about what I thought about the list and what I probably want to change or not change. So there we go. Thanks for watching, and we'll see how I do. Bye.